Hello everyone, it's Dr. Wolf here, and in this video I'm going to give you some feedback on the explanation we were doing yesterday in class, and that was homework to be finished up. So here it's asking the question, how do human activities affect sea levels? Even before getting to my explanation, I like to make a little bit of a concept map to give myself an idea of where am I going to eventually be going with everything. So I'm going to start here, how do human activities affect? So this is going to be the potential cause, humans, and then sea levels is my effect, so I'm putting that here, and I can see from the graph that sea level is rising, so I put that there. And so now I'm going to look at all my images, my variables that I have and see like, okay, well, which one do humans most directly affect? I got carbon dioxide, temperatures, melting ice, and sea level rise. Humans are most directly contributing to CO2. That's the most direct cause and effect. All right, and we know from class that CO2 leads to changing temperatures. Right now that we have these changing temperatures, well, that looks like they could affect, well, we have two things with ice right here, right? Land ice and sea ice. Could it affect both? Yeah, absolutely. So this won't always happen. It usually won't. But here we actually have two arrows, sea ice melting and land ice melting. All right. So then the question is, well, do both of these things melting cause sea levels to rise? Well, we know from class on Monday that melting icebergs, melting ice in a glass of water, that's not going to cause the water level to rise. Instead, it's going to be melting land ice, or just the fact that higher temperatures cause water to expand. And just by it expanding, the water, it would cause water levels to rise. All right. So now I'm just going to have an arrow pointing land ice melting to sea levels rising. Okay. So now let's take a look at the explanation. All right, how do humans contribute to rising sea levels? And I want to use all these terms. So humans are causing sea levels to increase. All right, well, how do we know this? Well, by burning fossil fuels for power plants, factories, cars, etc., humans emit CO2. So notice this is not in any of the graphs. This is my causal mechanism, my reasoning showing or connecting it to the graph that global atmospheric CO2 levels rise. And I'm referencing diagram A. All right, so then the next thing is, well, CO2 is going to cause temperature. So CO2 absorbs and reflects light back to Earth, causing it to warm, which explains the increase in ocean temperature that we see in diagram C. Notice blue's the evidence from the graphs from diagram C, and the orange is my reasoning, my causal mechanisms that we should know going into this. So we see in diagram B that ice in Greenland is melting more, and in diagram E that the Arctic floating ice extent is decreasing, also melting. Now, by the way, you did not need to talk about diagram E here. I decided to, but you did not need to. All right, it's really the land ice we care about most, diagram B. So both of these are caused by increasing global temperatures. There's not a whole lot there, right? We know that increasing temperatures causes ice to melt, or that ice will melt in warmer temperatures. All right, so now I have to kind of bring it home and say that, hey, it's really just because of the land ice. So first I just referenced diagram D. Diagram D shows that sea levels have been rising. All right, now I need to have a cause and effect here, some causal mechanisms connecting what I have here. We know that melting ice does not contribute to sea level rise. Again, you did not necessarily need to have this, but I put it in, right? Ice melting on land adds water to the ocean, causing sea levels to rise. And in addition, warmer liquid like the ocean expands in volume, causing sea levels to rise even further. So did you have to have this thing about volume? Well, in a way, yes, because it's one of our words right here. But the thing I cared most about from the information you were given is that ice melting on land adds water to the ocean. However, I think a really good explanation would include both mechanisms. The fact that water expands when it's warmer and water from land melts and adds to the ocean. So hopefully this provides some feedback for constructing explanations. Good luck on your formative, which is going to include this skill of constructing explanations as well as interpreting data.